So, good day everyone. I am LIEJA POGOY, and today I'm gonna discuss to you about a novel written by a Filipino author. So, but before we discuss about this specific novel by a Filipino author, we will first discuss about epistolary novel. So, from that video, unsa inyong mga na-observe?
Nagsuot siya.
Feeling ni mo, unsa yung gisulat?
Novel. Letter.
Yes, sakto. Nagsuwat siya og letter. Atong i-connect ang letter sa atong epistolary novel. So, epistolary novel is a literary genre pertaining to letters in which writers uses letters, journals, and diary entries in their works, or they tell their stories or deliver messages through a series of letters. So, kung kakita na mong novel is, isahay ana niya is purely mga words na siya, mga narration na siya sa author. But diri na type na novel, iyahang style is mga letters imo mabasahan. So, imo mabasahan is Dear Isabella, I love you, nanana, then mutubag baron si Isabella niya. Na, iya nang gi-compile tanan para mabasa, ikabasa nimo is makabasa kag different perspective from different person kay tungod sa letters. So, our specific novel written by a Filipino author is Illustrado by Miguel SYJUCO. First, let's learn about Miguel SYJUCO. That is Miguel SYJUCO. Miguel SYJUCO is a Filipino author, journalist, civil society advocate, and professor at New York University, Abu Dhabi. His debut novel Illustrado was a New York Times Notable Book of the Year and won both Man-Asian Literary Prize and the Grand Prize at the Palanca Awards, his country's top literary honor. Miguel SYJUCO is a Filipino, but while iyan yung gisulat na libro is naa siya sa abroad, so OFW siya dito. Bago niya na publish ang iyang book. Na kaninang book is may debut niya, so mo ang pinaka first na book, nagdaghan kay siya award. And then about sa Illustrado, ang main character sa libro is pangalan sa niya is Miguel SYJUCO. So let's start. The novel's prologue, signed and dated by Miguel on December 1, 2002, describes the life and unexpected death of Crispin Salvador, Miguel's mentor and professor. Crispin was a prolific, famous, and controversial figure in Philippine literary scene. He was found dead in Hudson River in New York. Most consider Crispin's death a suicide. However, Miguel is convinced that Crispin was killed to prevent him from publishing his unfinished manuscript, The Bridges Ablaze, which was expected to be an expose of Philippine political corruption. The majority of the manuscript itself was missing, but after Crispin's death, a page with several names on it was discovered, including well-known literary and political figures and a mysterious Dulcinea. Prologue introduces the premise of the novel, which is that Miguel intends to write an account of Crispin's life in order to present a clear factual biography for the reader. So, sa prologue or ang first page sa yung story is, pag-open pa lang sa story is, ang pagkamatay ni Crispin. Si Crispin, kay mo na ang mentor or teacher ni Miguel. And then, namatay siya sa usa ka river, nakita niyang lawas dito. Ang gingon sa police is, nag-suicide siya, murag ambak siguro. But then, si Miguel convinced siya na dili ni siya suicide, na nagpatay niya katungod iyang libro, ang iyang libro na ongoing libro niya kay is naka-rate up na ang nakasuwat is about sa mga political corruptions ingana ba. So meaning ana basing gipatay ni siya para dili ma-publish ang libro o way makabaw na about sa political corruption. Mao na ang kunya katong na libro is nawagtangan ko siya mga pages. Mamo na yung gikuan nganong nawagtang ang pages. But then, tikalitra nag-pop up ang mga name niya, siyang email, and then katong mga name is mo na iyang reason mo na mubalik siya sa Philippines para iya tong i-search kung sakin sa tong mga tawhana. To begin his research, Miguel decided to search for Crispin's lost manuscript. He flies to Manila in an attempt to meet the people mentioned in the page from Crispin's manuscript, especially Dulcinea. Throughout the novel, Miguel's narration is interrupted by excerpts from other sources, including newspaper articles and blog posts about ongoing events in the Philippines. Crispin's novel and autobiography, old interviews with Crispin, Miguel's in-progress biography of Crispin, an ongoing joke highlighting class inequality in the Philippines. There is also a named third-person omniscient narrator, which we later learn is Crispin himself, who occasionally narrates the main plot of the novel. These different voices are marked by change in font. Crispin's writing is in different font from Miguel's narration, and the third-person narration is in the same font as Crispin's writing but italicized. The newspaper excerpt, the interviews with Crispin, and blog posts are also printed in different fonts. Ang diri kay di ba na-discover man niya itong mga names, so niari siya sa Manila para pangataon to mga tao na naa sa lista sa iyang manuscript. Ang pag-ari sa Manila is ang mga discover kay mga newspaper articles, blog posts, novels, autobiography, ug many others. Kala sila is pwede na nimo siya gamiton dili ra letters or mga journals ang pwede nimo ibutang sa usa sa epistolary novel. Pwede sa nimo ibutang to mga balita sa una niya imong ibutang sa novel. And then diri is ang style sa niya ni Miguel SYJUCO sa pag-write siyang novel is like permibawaan nimo na lahi na ng tao ang nagsurya is lahi na iyang font. So kung baga ni siya na font, meaning ana si Miguel ang nagsurya. Pero kung nipis na gali na siya kay si Crispin na ron, nga na iyang style para mabawaan sa mga reader na oy naglahi na di ay ang tao na atong gibasa. Upon his landing in Manila, Miguel sees a factory explode. He also overhears passenger talk about Big Bertol Lacandula, a worker in Saudi Arabia whose girlfriend, a maid for rich couple, was killed by her employers because her negligence led to the death of the couple's child. Lacandula is revered as a popular hero and becomes a teenage heartthrob for swearing vengeance against the Chancos. Through overheard conversation, Miguel also learns that the factory that exploded was run by Pilfers, a major corporation whose factories frequently experience such accidents due to corporate negligence. Pilfers is able to continue operating despite the poor working conditions and environmental impact due to the political corruption and bribery. So pag land niya sa Manila pa lang is nakakita na siya factory na nagboto, nagkalit. And then ang mga namatay sa nibuto is about si a maid for a rich couple. And then na-discover sa ni Miguel diri na sa Philippines is ang mga tao na dako oy position iyang i-abuse ilang power. So meaning ana, example sila yung marong pero lain ilang tao ang mag-carry on sa ilang sala para dili mabawaan na imo na ilang binuhatan, ilang buhaton lang katong mga workers ra or mga pwede ra nila ma-disposable people nila is ilan na lang pamatyon. So na-discover niya na naay corruption, naay bribery ang Philippines diri na part. Then Miguel interviews Crispin's sister Lena, who reveals that Dulcinea is Crispin's illegitimate daughter. She suggests that Miguel sees Miss Florentina, an old family friend. Miguel returns to Manila after interviewing Lena and goes to a club where he met his old friends from college and begins to take cocaine again. Later, he goes to a book launch in an attempt to meet key figures in the Filipino literary scene to find out more about Crispin's life and death. That he does not receive any useful information about Crispin or his manuscript, but he does meet Sadie Gonzalez, a Filipina, a woman in her 20s to whom he is instantly attracted. Sadie's mother is also a fan of Crispin's work and could have useful information from Miguel in his quest for his information. So, diri na part is na-discover ni Miguel na katong mysterious Dulcinea na nakasuwat sa iyang manuscript is mao ditoy anak sa gawas ni Crispin. Then diri sa dapita is murag na-discourage na sa diri na part si Miguel sa pagpangita sa information about ni Crispin. So nag-decide siya mag-take cocaine again sa mga drugs na siya dapita. And also diri na meet niya balik si Sadie Gonzalez. Si Sadie Gonzalez is an old fling or marag ex na niya ni Miguel si Sadie, but then ang mother ni Sadie is like fan siya ni Crispin sa mga gisuwat ni Crispin. So may possibility na ma-discover si Miguel about ni Crispin through the mother of Sadie. Sadie invites Miguel to dinner at her parents' home. The dinner goes poorly, and Miguel does not learn anything useful. The next day, he goes to visit Miss Florentina, who tells him where he can find Dulcinea. Miguel then goes to the theater where he expects to find Marcel Avellaneda, a political blogger and old friend of Crispin's. However, Marcel does not arrive for their scheduled meeting. Miguel then goes out to a club with Sadie. That night, a typhoon hit Manila, leading to major flooding. Sadie and Miguel try to drive to Miguel's hotel, but their car is stranded on the way in the flood waters. Sadie and Miguel stay inside the car until Miguel sees two children floating on an ice cream truck in the flood waters. He climbs out of the car in an attempt to reach them but slips into an open manhole and dies. So in this part is walay nag-learn si Miguel about Crispin through the parents ni Sadie. So iyang next niya style niya is iyang istoryaon to si Marcel Avellaneda, a political blogger, but then sadly si Marcel is wala siya nitunga sa scheduled time. So si Miguel o si Sadie kay niadto na lang siya club. But then that night is naay bagyo di ay. Then sa bagyo, so ni try sila uli no, but then nagbagyo naman og kusog kay ang baha sa Manila baya. So imbes na makauli sila is na stranded sila tungod sa baha. And then while nagbaha, kita si Miguel og duha ka bata na naa sa ice cream truck na nagtry na lang hold on ba para di sila mabanwa sa baha. So iyang gitry i-save ang duha ka bata, iyang gi-reach out iyang kamot, igawa siya sa car, ni-reach out iyang kamot, but then ay uwan baya, so na-slide siya, then natagak siya sa manhole, yet namatay. Sad. Miguel's death occurred in chapter 8. From chapter 9 onwards, the novel is only narrated in the third person with few excerpts from Crispine's novels in chapter 9. Crispine's third person narration splits into two narrative voices. The first, Crispine's third person narration becomes a first person narration, and Crispine describes his feeling about Miguel's death. In the second voice, Crispine narrates Miguel's life as though he survived his fall into the manhole. At the end of chapter 10, Miguel, however, these two voices converge, and the second voice describes Miguel flying to Isla Dulcinea to conclude his quest for Dulcinea and Crispine's manuscript. Miguel finds the island, but Dulcinea is not there, and the manuscript boxes are empty. Instead, he finds a beautiful house which represents his parasital afterlife. Very na part sa my chapter 9 and siya na part is namatay naman si Miguel ato na kuano before. At then diri na part is ang nagdirect na ani is si Crispin na kay wala naman si Miguel. And then diri na part is kay iyang gikuan ni Crispin is kung buhi si Miguel unsa ka iyang gibuhat. Iyang gingon diri na basin iyang nakita ng Isla Dulcinea ang manuscript ni Crispin, but then wala pag adto niya sa isla is wala si Dulcinea o wala manuscript. Instead is iyang nakita is a house that which represent his parasital afterlife, meaning iyang journey is done and he found his own home already. Mao na ang representation diri na part. The epilogue is narrated entirely by Crispin in the first person. In Crispin's narration, he remembers a morning in February, presumably the February before the events of the novel, when Crispin received news of Miguel's death. Miguel and Crispin were not close, but Crispin fixated on Miguel's death, leading him to write a novel about Miguel. Thus, it made clear that the entirety of the novel prior to the epilogue was written entirely by Crispin as way to cope with Miguel's death. So, mo ni ang greatest plot twist ani nga novel. Ang kuanan ning novel is dili si Miguel ang gasuwat sa story, it is Crispin. Ang namatay is dili si Crispin, it is si Miguel. So, kaning novel is nasuwat siya tungod kay nasad si Crispin kay namatay iyahang dili kanya close na friend pero iyang gimentoran na si Miguel. Wana ang greatest plot twist ani na story. And then what we can learn from the story is that we can grow into a better version of ourselves if we see na sa mga challenges ni Miguel is take siya cocaine, nag-clubbing siya balik, and then that's like the down part of his life. But then when nainitabo na bad is like he changed himself and he tried to be a better person by helping others, though nag-result siya sa iyang death. And also ang libro sa is nag-teach na to na mag-aware ta sa atong surrounding, because if we notice ang Philippines is full of corruption, abuses of power, poverty, and also nag-talk sa siya sa mga kalisod sa OFW rito sa other country na mga chances na mga OFW is dili na sila kauli diri kay mga matay na sila rito or di na jud sila kabalik. Next is the benefits and relevance of sharing novels to others. First is it increase your ability to empathize. Kung magbasa kag novel is makag story sa other tao good. And then kagets ka sa ilang side, like nganong gibuhat ni niya, nganong naitabo ni niya, nganong mo ni iyang nasulti mo na makakuan ka, makasabot ka niya, maka-share ka sa iyang feelings. Next is gain and share valuable knowledge. Ang pagbasa sa novel is daghan kag ma-learn. Kaya kanang mga magsuwat kag novel is ang mga mag-writer is mag-search man sila about value mga information na dapat accurate or not, mga information na maka-learn ang daghang tao. So, example, diri na level, maka-learn ka na, uy, corrupt di kay sa Philippines. Ay, sa Philippines, grabe ay ang mga power. Mga tao na nasa mga tag-as kay position, mag-abuse na silang power. Nga niyon din, nilang lang tao. Uy, nga ni din tabo sa mga OFW sa other country. Next is exercise your brain. Ang mag-novel, taas ba ng novel, ang mga libro, nga na. And then, para makasabot ka sa next part, isabto ni mo ni na part. And then maka-discover sa ka og vocabulary ani. So pwede na nimo ma-search na meaning oy na ako bag-o na suwat mo na ni ma-word ma-use ko ni as word of the day of my life. Next is enjoy entertainment. Ang advantage ani mga libro or mga novel is like kung magbasa ka novel, pwede ra kang galing ko dira pero mura na sa adventure. Kay makabasa mga experiences sa author or sa character na imong gibasa, feeling nimo nakaadto na ka na lugar, kabaw ka meaning ani niya, kay malagi tungod kay nagbasa ra kag novel. Last is improve your communication skills. If mga basa kag novel is like mas ma-articulate imong mga words, kabaw na ka mo sentence structure, imong grammar kay ma-learn ka grammar o mga vocabulary, mo na makabantay ka if mga teacher is like per me basa mo ani kay makabasa nagi kag daghan, mas daghan kag mas kabalo ka mo istorya. So this is the last part of our discussion. It is your turn. Reading should not be presented to children as a chore, a duty. It should be offered as a gift by Kate D. Camillo. So I hope that you learned something for today and share this knowledge to other people. And once again, this is LIEJA POGOY from Best Ed Science. Thank you.